What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on first take, they're going to tell me how O'Dell Beckham Jr. is wearing that watch and is that a distraction? So let's see what they have to say about that.
Is Watchgate a big deal or no big deal?
He is making it a big deal. Look, normally, do you expect me to defend O'Dell? Normally, I defend him when things are, if I feel like he's getting an unfair shake, I defend him. I didn't defend him when he didn't need to be defended because he dropped passes in the playoffs. That, I had to say what happened. In this case, I defended him wearing the watch. Who cares? Like, oh, it costs a lot of money. Stop it. He just wore a watch. However, if it comes to the NFL's attention that it's illegal to wear that watch, it's against their rules, you simply take the watch off. It's not hard.
So what it is just another distraction. Of course, on the field, they're probably not talking about his watch, or they're scheming on the sideline during a team huddle. They're not talking about his watch, but it's just another distraction. Even if it's outside the locker room, even if it's just in the media or, things like that, it's just another distraction that you don't need to be dealing with and just unnecessary. But let's continue.
I get now, if his position is, look, I'm going to wear it, and until I hear from someone that I have to take it off, I'll wear it. Okay, O'Dell, I suppose. But if you do, will you simply take it off and let it be done? The idea that he's being singled out is not true. He's a giant star who wore a six-figure watch on his wrist.
He's oppressed,
When it became a story, people are like, hey, that's actually against rules. You're going to have to... So, is it a big deal? Not until he says he's going to keep wearing it. He is making it a big deal.
He's annoying.
Max Kellerman.
So this is a big deal. Like I said, it's just another distraction for the team. And he's supposed to be one of the leaders. He's supposed to be one of the best football players out there. And he's doing something like this. Of course, like I said, on the field, they're probably not talking about his watch. On the sideline, they're probably not talking about his watch. But overall, it's just a distraction that is not needed. If you're all about football, you're all about winning and focusing and being the best that you can be, you're not worried about when a $300,000 watch out there. You're not worried about trying to blend. You're worried about how many catches can I make? How can I make this team better? How can I play better? How can I do this or that? You're so dialed in, you don't have time to be worried about a watch or anything like that. So again, I said, it shows you he's a little bit immature because he's worried about other things instead of being locked in about being a champion. Championship teams don't have players doing things like this. You don't see the New England Patriots having distractions of players wearing rings and, watches and things of that nature because Bill Belichick won't have it. And again, that's another thing that points to coaching. The coaching needs to nip that in the bud. Say, no watches. That's it. No watches. It's a distraction. No watches. That's it. It's said and done. Also, how many times is the price of this watch going to change? The first time I heard about this, the watch was $350,000. Then the next time I heard the watch was $225,000. Then I heard the watch was $190,000. Then I heard $150,000. So I bet you at this rate, sometime next week, probably Monday, that watch is probably going to be, he got it out of a machine that you put a quarter in, twist a knob, and a little plastic ball comes out, and it's going to have an ODB watch in it. And by the time it gets to Wednesday, Thursday, he's going to get that watch out of a crackerjack box. It just doesn't make sense. So let's continue.
Don't raise your voice. Don't get riled up. It's not necessary. Because he's not necessary. And let me tell you why. O'Dell Beckham Jr., let's ask this question rhetorically. Let's just throw this out there. What would you like us to talk about? What is there to talk about O'Dell Beckham Jr.? Think about that for a second. Since you upset about people talking about you, we talk about the commercial with Eli Manning. Didn't you want us to talk about that when you did that during the Super Bowl? I think so. When you decided to go to Miami the week of a playoff game, why did we talk about that? Because you took a picture on the boat with a bunch of brothers and you posted it.
And because he dropped all the passes
and because,
right after.
Because we were saying, okay, since you got to play at Lambeau Field, which ain't South Beach, 6 days from now, show up. That's why we talked about it. So we talked about that. The picture in France, is that anybody's fault that while you were eating pizza, somebody was near you with a white powder substance?
Yeah, that was someone else's fault, actually, because someone else took the picture.
I'm just saying. The point is, but no. But he didn't mind. He didn't know it was going to be posted, but he was posing in that picture with the pizza. Let's be clear. It wasn't like, you caught him. He was posing. It wasn't like somebody shot him and he didn't know. That's what he was doing. All right, so let's be clear about that. He was posing. So there we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, so let's understand something here, okay? Let's be very, very clear.
Oh, the powdery white substance.
O'Dell Beckham Jr., you're a victim. I don't recall anybody victimizing him other than the Giants because I don't think the Giants should have let him go. But here's my point. It's not like you've given us winning football to talk about. Been on the Giants. And your first week in Cleveland, we know how that went.
What did he have, 70 yards?
Yes, 71 yards, 7 receptions. My point is that O'Dell Beckham Jr. is the one guilty of all of this because O'Dell Beckham Jr. seems to have known he wasn't going to win. So he said, let me do what I can to bring attention to myself. That way my profile continues to be here, or if not, it elevates. And as a result, I will remain relevant in the eyes of everybody else because the reality is, regardless of his greatness, Max, we don't have much football to talk about with him because he was with the Giants. And week 1, if there's any evidence, we see him with that. Saw a commercial, by the way, for Baker Mayfield yesterday. Saw a commercial with a nice commercial. Hulu, I believe it. Nice commercial. Once again, ain't winning football we're seeing here. We're seeing personalities who know their personalities, who are profiting off of being personalities, which obviously I have no problem with because I do the same. The difference is I'm winning at what we do. We winning here. It would really be nice. It would really be nice if we had winning football to talk about when it came to O'Dell Beckham Jr. That's all I ask.
So Stephen A. Smith is definitely right about that, and I've always kind of thought about that in the back of my mind. Actually, not too far in the back of my mind. The O'Dell Beckham Jr. really hasn't done anything if you think about it. He played in one playoff game, dropped the rock a few times, and just didn't do anything. Other than that, during the regular season, he's a great receiver. He has hands. He can do that one-handed catch, all that type of stuff. But in reality, he hasn't really done anything. That's why I never put him above Antonio Brown or Julio Jones because he hasn't really proved himself. But anyways, so back to the whole, I don't know if he knew that they weren't going to beat the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if that's what O'Dell Beckham Jr. knew or whatever the situation is. But the fact is, just the fact that he's wearing that watch and is going to draw attention and cause issue, it's just, that shows that you're not a true leader. It shows that you're immature because if you were ready and you're worried about winning, that's all you'd be focused about. You wouldn't have any other little distractions like that watch, the whole deal. And people are going to talk about it. It just doesn't make sense. What, you think you see Jerry Rice out there wearing a watch that costs as much as a house? Can you imagine Jerry Rice doing something like that? I can't, because Jerry Rice was so locked in and dialed in on his routes and catching the ball and having a good game. He didn't have time to be worrying about wearing a watch that costs as much as a house, or costs as much as an apartment, or costs as much as a car, or it costs as much as an ice cream cone, or it costs as much as a box of Cracker Jacks, because that's what it's going to get to, because the price keeps dropping on this watch. I don't know how much the thing costs. But still, it's a distraction that's not needed. If you're a leader for the team, younger guys are going to see that, and it just shows that you're not ready to be a championship team. You're doing stuff like that. You're trying to be an individual. You're not ready to win. Like I said, you don't see this type of trash with the New England Patriots. Everybody plays at a team. There's no individuals. It's a well-oiled machine, and that's why they keep winning. But O'Dell Beckham Jr. wants to be an individual. You got to change that, man. You got to be a leader. You got to be dialed in, and I don't know. So let's continue.
No reason to raise your voice and get upset.
Exactly.
Look, exactly. I think that here's one scenario I could see, which I'm sure is not the case. But if it was as devious as, you know what, they're talking about your watch and not our week 1. Keep wearing the watch.
It's ugly.
I'm with it. If Coach went to him or someone says, keep wearing the watch, this is like we could just concentrate on football. Everyone else is talking about your watch. If that was what was going on, I'd be with it. I highly doubt it.
Are you ready for this? Freddie Kitchens, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, first-year head coach. I didn't say, obviously, not one of the most successful. He just started.
It was 0-1.
Do you realize that Freddie Kitchens is one of the most popular coaches in the National Football League right now?
Why?
Think about it. Because what we've been talking about. The Browns and what they're supposed to do. Not what they've done. What they're supposed to do. See if your personality, you understand, okay, you know what, we're talking about you, but what have you done? I think Freddie Kitchens is going to do just fine, by the way. I think Baker Mayfield is going to do just fine. Obviously, O'Dell Beckham Jr. is a superstar talent. But what I'm saying is the attention that these folks get, they bring on themselves. Now, we are not ones to talk. The difference is we ain't complaining. Y'all are complaining about the attention you see.
Can I say one thing?
And I don't know if they're necessarily complaining about the attention because everybody knows that they're a stacked team. They're good. There's no secret about that. They're not overhyped. They're just not living up to that hype, and they have the potential to do it. But like I said, this is the whole watch thing is just another distraction, and it kind of points to the coach because that points to you don't really have full control over your players. You don't. To let one of your players have to be distraction like that over something that can be controlled, I wouldn't have that. Bill Belichick wouldn't have that. Are you kidding me? That's it. As soon as I first heard the first thing about that watch, I'm like, O'Dell Beckham Jr., I'm only going to tell you this one time. No more watches during the games. That's it. If I see that watch on you again, I'm going to find you and sit you down. Period. That'll be it. That'll be end of the distraction. You want to be a leader for this team. You want to be a Hall of Famer and be this great wide receiver. Well, you better start acting like it. This team is stacked. But you're acting like an individual with this watch and all this other type of garbage. So no more watch. We're going to step up the game. We need to start working as a team so we don't get beat up again like we did in week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. I mean, God, do you think you'd ever see Jared Rice do something like that? Go out there with some type of watch like that? Do you think you ever see Chris Carter go out there on the field with a $350,000 watch? I don't think so. I do not think so. So let's continue.
I'll say he's totally playing the victim card, but
Yes.
one thing I do want to give props to Baker Mayfield after that loss, obviously 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter is a terrible game for him. He really came to the mic like a leader.
Yes.
He didn't play the victim
Listen,
card at all.
I'm not worried about Baker.
Well, I don't want to hear all that because you don't get props for being a good loser, okay? I'm not going to give you any props for you took being a loser like a man. You're a good loser. I don't want to hear that. How was you supposed to go up there? Well, like Cam Newton and pouting. I don't want to talk to anybody because my things aren't going my way. I don't want to talk to anybody. But when we're winning, oh, hi, what's going on? You can ask me all types of questions, even stupid questions. So, I don't give Baker Mayfield any credit because he acted like a good loser. What I expect is for him to learn from his mistakes, lick his wounds, and come back next week even stronger and smarter and ready to get down because he's got 15 more games to go. It's going to be a long season and have a long way to go and they have a lot of potential. So how about they start using it? That's all I'd be worried about. But let's continue.
I like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I just want them to produce on the field.
I'm not worried about Odell either. Antonio Brown showed behavior that you have to worry about.
Right.
I don't think Odell's behavior rises to that level.
Odell's
Obviously,
smart.
A guy because he's a huge superstar.
By the way.
Julio Jones has perfect behavior for a superstar.
By the way, are you ready for this? Let me give O'Dell Beckham Jr. attention for something else. He's been very, very good on Ballers. I'm a fan of that show. I'm a fan of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and those boys. Obviously John David Washington and others. I like Ballers. Let me finish. He's been on it. Odell Beckham Jr. is doing a good job. Here's the problem. Once again, that's not winning football games.
All right, well, we're going to see
Watching,
them on Monday Night Football.
He's doing a good job.
They're going to play the Jets
He's doing a good job.
here on ESPN. We should go to that game, Jets-Browns.
Yeah.
Why? Why should I get stuck in traffic?
Okay, it was
you know what?
supposed to be a joke. Can I get to this Cam script? Do we have anything else to add?
That should be titled that game. Somebody should win this.